Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Azerbaijan has launched an attack in the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh, labelling it as an anti-terrorist measure of a local nature. According to local officials cited by the Associated Press, scores of civilians and troops were killed and wounded in the Tuesday attack. Nagorno-Karabakh, also known as Artsakh, is a landlocked region in the South Caucasus. The region has been a source of conflict and tension between Armenia and Azerbaijan for many years. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called on Azerbaijan to immediately cease hostilities and to return to dialogue. He also conveyed to Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan that the United States fully supports Armenia's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity. Pope Francis has extended a heartfelt message to the participants of an international conference on Pope John XXIII's encyclical Pacem in Terris. The Tuesday conference was organised to commemorate the encyclical's 60th anniversary and was jointly organised by the Academy of Social Sciences and the Peace Research Institute Oslo. In his message, addressed to the Chancellor of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences, Cardinal Peter Turkson, Pope Francis emphasised the timeliness of the conference in the face of ongoing global conflicts that resemble a fragmented Third World War, including the grave situation in Ukraine with its looming nuclear threat. The Pope drew parallels with the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 and the subsequent proliferation of nuclear and other weapon technologies. The Pope stressed the importance of working towards a world free of nuclear arms, endorsing the role of the United Nations and related bodies in this endeavour. His Holiness also conveyed his appreciation to all conference participants and presenters, expressing his prayerful hope that with divine inspiration, all people may unite as brothers and sisters in pursuit of lasting peace. He concluded his message by sending his blessing to everyone involved in the conference. 11 Christians have been killed in an attack on a Mozambican village. On September the 15th, the terrorists associated with the Islamic State opened fire on gathered believers. The attack took place in the remote village of Nakitenge. Pontifical Aid Foundation Aid to the Church in Need reports that the militants arrived in the region in the early afternoon, separated Christians and Muslims by name to determine their ethnicity, and then opened fire only on Christians. In the meantime, Friar Bonaventure, a missionary with the Institute of the Fraternity of the Poor of Jesus, stated that such attacks foster dread and anxiety in the community, and he asked for prayers on behalf of those impacted. The Vatican has unveiled the detailed itinerary for Pope Francis's highly anticipated two-day visit to Marseille, scheduled to begin on September the 22nd. Following his departure from Rome's Fiumicino airport, the Pope is expected to touch down in France in the evening of the 22nd. The French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne will extend an official welcome to the Pontiff. Subsequently, Pope Francis will proceed to the Basilica of Notre-Dame de la Garde, where he will take part in a Marian prayer session alongside local diocesan clergy. Later on in the day, the Pope will pay tribute to seafarers and migrants who have perished at sea. The second day of the trip will commence with a private meeting with individuals facing economic hardship. Following this, Pope Francis will address the concluding session of the Mediterranean meetings at the Palais du Pharaon. He is also scheduled to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron. In the evening, the Pope will lead Holy Mass at the Velodrome Stadium. A farewell ceremony with the President of the Republic is slated to occur at the airport before the Pope's return to Rome. You can also watch the live broadcast of the papal visit to Marseille on Shalom World TV. Bishop Michael Burbidge, who serves as the chairman of the Committee on Pro-Life Activities within the US Conference of Catholic Bishops, underscored the Catholic community's responsibility in aiding mothers facing challenging circumstances. In a statement marking the 50th anniversary of Respect Life Month, observed by the Catholic Church in the United States every October since 1973, he emphasised the concept of radical solidarity. The bishop stressed that being in radical solidarity with pregnant women or those raising children in difficult situations involves prioritising their needs above our own. He further noted that this commitment entails collective efforts within dioceses, parishes, schools and local communities, as well as engagement in the public arena and advocacy for policies that support both women and their unborn children. Additionally, Bishop Burbidge encouraged individual personal commitments to provide material, emotional and spiritual support to mothers in their own communities as they embrace the gift of life. He extended an invitation to all Catholics to consider fostering a culture of life rooted in the principle of radical solidarity. In the first event of its kind, the March for Life to Defend the Unborn took place in 2 German cities at the same time. Thousands took part in the march simultaneously in the capital city Berlin and Cologne on Saturday, September the 16th.
The National Association for the Right to Live, Bundesverband Lebensrecht, a federation of 15 associations and initiatives, organized the march to safeguard human life from conception until natural death. According to BVL coordinator Michael Kiewer, the march's main objective is to defend people all throughout their lives.
Das wichtige Ziel ist, für etwas zu sein, nämlich für das Leben, für den Schutz von Menschen in jeder Phase ihres Lebens, vor der Geburt, nach der Geburt, während ihres Lebens, aber auch am Ende des Lebens. Also mir ist auch ganz wichtig zu sagen, wir sind nicht gegen irgendetwas. Wir sind nicht gegen Frauen, wie manchmal über uns geredet wird. Wir sind auch nicht gegen Abtreibung, klar, in der Konsequenz, aber wir sind primär für das Leben, für etwas Positives. Und ich denke, für das Wichtigste und Positivste, für das fundamentalste Menschengrundrecht, was es eigentlich gibt.
Auxiliary Bishop Dominicus Schwader-Lapp of Cologne, Archbishop Heiner Koch of Berlin, and Bishop Rudolf Voder-Holzer of Regensburg were among the important religious figures who attended the march. Father Tobias Eibel said that they were present to testify to God's creation and give the unborn a voice.
Ja, wir sind hier, weil wir Zeugnis geben wollen für die Schöpfung Gottes und auch für die Rechte Gottes. Und auch eine Stimme denjenigen geben wollen, die selber gar nicht sprechen können, weil sie noch im Mutterleib sind. Jeder Mensch hat ein Recht zu leben und dieses Recht kommt, weil Gott es will. Und wir wollen Gott wollen wir diese Stimme geben und auch den Ungeborenen, für die niemand eintritt. Auch diese haben ein Lebensrecht. Sie haben auch die Freiheit, dass irgendwie dass dafür eingetreten wird und wir wollen diesen Kindern besonders die Stimme geben.
Mama, I love you, love me too. And inclusion begins prenatally and develops throughout life, read abortion betting banners and posters. A protester was seen wearing a t-shirt that said, "Abortion is murder. Therefore, stand against it." Several wooden crosses commemorated aborted newborns throughout the event. Booths were selling pro-life buttons and silicone embryos. Moreover, pro-life banners and flyers were distributed to raise awareness and support. A participant who is a mother of 7 said that she finds it incredible to see life coming into existence and a human being growing in our sight, and that this is why she enjoys being around infants and watching them grow, develop, and flourish. Following the success and international praise of the March for Life, 2 similar gatherings are planned for September 21, 2024. SW News, Cologne, Germany.
Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, who is the Vatican's Secretary for Relations with States and International Organisations, addressed the papacy's intentions for the Holy Land during the opening of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly on September the 19th in New York. He noted that the Christian community has been present for 2,000 years and that the Friars Minor, a Catholic religious order, have served as protectors of the holy places associated with Jesus' life for around 800 years. He advocated for Jerusalem to be named a city of encounter and given an internationally agreed special statute, which the permanent observer of the Holy See had long supported. Archbishop Gallagher further emphasised the importance of safeguarding civilian populations and considering the legitimate interests of all parties involved in any peace movement. The bishops in Haiti have pleaded for an end to gang violence against innocent people in their country. In a strongly worded statement, they expressed concern for those facing dereliction and experiencing pain due to the violence of heavily armed groups. The bishops also questioned the cynicism and indifference of political leaders towards the issue. They stated that a war is being waged against unarmed, peaceful people nationwide, resulting in daily murders, turf conflicts, extortions, and kidnappings, including attacks targeting priests and nuns. Recent United Nations statistics show gang-related violence has caused over 2,500 fatalities and nearly 1,000 kidnappings this year alone. Haiti, one of the world's poorest nations, has been plagued by criminal violence for a long time, as well as regular natural disasters and a protracted political impasse exacerbated by President Jovenel Moïse's assassination in July 2021. Joseph Jason, a Christian human rights advocate from Pakistan who represented the Jubilee campaign at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, has highlighted the issues being faced by minority communities in Pakistan. He charged the authorities with using the National Security Act to arbitrarily imprison human rights activists. He conveyed the Jubilee campaign's shock over false blasphemy accusations, pre-trial detentions, unfair prosecutions, persistent threats, and the intentional incitement of violence against minorities, leaving them intimidated and dispersed. In a similar development, several leaders and members of churches in Scotland demonstrated peacefully outside the Pakistani consulate in Glasgow in response to the ongoing persecution of Christians in Pakistan. The Italian city of Naples once again witnessed the liquefaction of the blood of its patron Saint Januarius. The blood of the patron saint of Naples liquefied on September the 19th during Holy Mass held in the city's cathedral. The city's Archbishop, Domenico Battaglia, held aloft the ampoule containing the blood, revealing the occurrence to the thousands of devoted followers who had gathered to witness it. Within the Cathedral of the Assumption of Mary, the faithful had congregated to commemorate the feast day of the saint, who was martyred during the period of Christian persecution under the Roman Emperor Diocletian. Many people in the city believe that liquefaction symbolises a good omen for them, in which they will be free from disasters. This phenomenon usually occurs 3 times a year, on September the 19th, that being the saint's feast day, the first Saturday of May, and on December the 16th, the anniversary of the 1631 eruption of the nearby volcano Mount Vesuvius. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again next time for more, and do remember in the meantime, you can always visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom!